The calm before the collapse. Gold is rising again. Quietly. Relentlessly. While governments pretend it's business as usual, deep beneath the surface, the world's financial arteries are choking. You can feel it. Markets shaking, currencies trembling, confidence bleeding out. Every time gold climbs, it's not victory. It's a warning. A whisper from history that something is breaking. They tell you it's just inflation or investor sentiment or temporary market adjustment. But gold doesn't move on feelings. It moves on fear. And right now, the world is drowning in it. Chapter 1. The Death of Trust. When people stop trusting paper, they turn to metal. Gold has always been the refuge of the betrayed. Betrayed by banks, by governments, by promises that vanish when you need them most. After decades of endless money printing, wars without purpose, and central bank deception, faith in fiat has crumbled. Each new dollar printed is a nail in the coffin of confidence. We're watching the slow-motion collapse of a system built not on production, but on belief. Every empire dies the same way, not by invasion, but by inflation. And the rising price of gold is the echo of that death rattle. The world is losing faith in its own money. Chapter 2. The Ghosts of 1971. It all began in 1971, when President Nixon severed the last link between the US dollar and gold. The moment the printing press became the foundation of the global economy, the clock began ticking. Without gold, there was no anchor, for only promises. Debt exploded. Governments discovered they could spend endlessly without consequence, as long as people believed. 50 years later, global debt now exceeds $350 trillion. The illusion of infinite growth is cracking. And each time gold surges, it's not a rally. It's a scream from the system that can no longer bear its own weight. We've been living in an illusion, a world where numbers on screens replaced the real thing. But illusions fade. And gold, the eternal witness, remains to expose what's real. Chapter 3. The Silent Run on the System. While you're told to trust the banks themselves are hoarding gold. Central banks around the globe, from China to Russia, from India to Poland, are buying record amounts of bullion, over 1,000 tons in a single year. They're not diversifying. They're preparing for a new order, one where paper money dies and tangible value returns. The rise of BRICS, the quiet talks of gold-backed trade, the whispers of de-dollarization, these are not coincidences. They are escape routes from a burning financial house. They know something you don't, and their actions speak louder than any government press release. Chapter 4. The Collapse of Paper Promises. Stocks rise. Bonds fail. Banks lie. But gold just waits, in the shadows. Patient, silent, watching the chaos unfold. For every ounce of real gold that exists, there are hundreds of ounces promised on paper, in ETFs, futures, and derivatives. If everyone demanded their gold tomorrow, the entire system would implode overnight. There simply isn't enough real metal to cover the lies. It's a house of cards built on IOUs, and every day it grows taller, more fragile, more dangerous. And as it trembles, the price of gold climbs, not because it's becoming more valuable, but because the paper world around it is dying. Chapter 5. The Great Reset of Value. When the world burns, gold doesn't rise. Paper burns faster. The wars, the inflation, the digital currencies, they're all part of a single convergence. A global reset of wealth, power, and control. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, promise convenience but deliver surveillance. In a cashless world, control becomes absolute. And when that happens, gold becomes not just a hedge, but a lifeline. Imagine waking up one morning and finding your account frozen because of what you said online. Imagine your money turning off. It's not a dystopian fantasy. It's a technological reality waiting to be used. While the digital dollar fades, the gold coin remains. Cold, heavy, incorruptible. A defiance of control. Chapter 6. The Return to Reality. The age of illusion is ending. The stock charts, the false prosperity, the paper profits, all crumbling into dust. What remains is what has always remained: truth, weight, and history. When everything collapses to zero, gold stands as the witness of every empire's fall. It has outlasted kings, currencies, and civilizations, and it will outlast us too. Gold's rise isn't about profit. It's about warning. The world isn't getting richer. It's getting revealed, piece by piece, illusion by illusion. Gold doesn't rise. The world just falls around it. The warning bells are ringing, quietly, faintly, but soon they'll be deafening. Prepare before the reset begins. This is Felix. Stay awake. See you next time.